Hey everybody, it is the 24-hour marketing mastermind. Welcome to everybody to this time. I know you've got a lot of things happening, especially this time of year, but if you've made it to this hangout, you're in for a treat because we've got some really good nuggets to share with you. I'm going to go over some stuff that I shared with Sam, South African Method, and if those of you don't know about it, it should be up on YouTube. You can actually you can search for it when you do video reviews on binary options to get people to come and view your offer. All right. Now, if you don't know a lot about it, it's okay. That's fine. You can ask questions about it. We can point you in the right direction. But I wanted to cover a few things about that particular method and why it's important to be consistent with that method. Now, a lot of the time, people will start out in a method and they won't get results straight away, and that's okay. All right. It's just about developing momentum so you can actually start getting a hold on what you're doing. But you know what? I'm actually going a little bit too fast right now. I first want to welcome people on this particular hangout. I see Chris is on. I want to just say welcome. I see that Joe McKenzie is on. Hey Joe, how you doing? And to everybody out there, if you want to say hey, please do. We'd like to know where you're from. Andrea, I see you there. Andrew's working so hard. I'm really proud of her. And I also just want to go through the panel. I've been jumping the gun too fast here. I want to introduce you. We got on the panel here. We have Katie Stage on here, who is our moderator normally, but she's going to be doing some really good training with us today, which I'm super excited about. I know you guys are going to really benefit from that. Hey, Katie, say hello.
Hi, everybody. Get your notebooks out, by the way.
Yes. And we have Pops who's going to be helping with moderation today. Pops.
Hi, everybody. Well, glad to be here.
Cool. Yeah, so as I was saying, let me get back to what I was saying before, all right? So we did the method called SAM. Does everybody remember SAM? Hey, Jamie. Giovanna. Does everyone remember SAM? The South African method when we do reviews on binary options. Let's see, we got okay. So, all right, I know there's a somewhat of a delay here. So we did this method where we would do reviews on binary options, and we know that binary options, we know that it's a legitimate deal, but there are plenty of programs out there that are just simply scamming people out of their money all the time. And so what we do is we go in and we show people how this actually works. We show people what trading is really all about, and we show people that trading is not just about, you know, getting a simple piece of software to do the trading for you. There's actually a lot that goes into it, and you need to have a full understanding of marketing and that sort of stuff. And so we basically do reviews on binary options, and we tell people why they shouldn't be getting into this program, because it really is scamming people out of money, and then we give them alternatives, and then that way you can actually develop traffic to go to your website or offer whatever you've got, all right? And that's the basic strategy. And I mentioned that we have to be consistent with our methods because there's actually a number of reasons why you want to be consistent. And the first one is that when you start seeing these programs all over again, and you start keeping a record. Now, I have a folder with all of the binary options I've done in the past. I can't tell you how many review folders I have because they've just gone too big, and I've had to move them onto another hard drive, and they're just filled with these offers all the time throughout the 2 years that I've been doing this. And the great thing about doing this is that you actually start to remember stuff that you did a while back. And I wanted to give you an example. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you just so you can see what's going on here. Let's see. All right. Can we share my screen? Can you see that screen?
It's all black. Oh, yep, there it goes. Yep.
Okay, cool. So this particular program is called the Free Money Auto Trader. Alright, Free Money Auto Trader system. That recently came out yesterday. And when I first saw this video, I was like, hey, wait a minute. Haven't I seen this before? And I have seen this before. I've seen this before in Marley's Money Method. Okay, now Marley's Money Method, just for your information, is not a binary option system, but nonetheless it is a scam. Alright, it's basically a place where you can make websites and make these duplicatable websites on the servers that they choose. So you're not going to be choosing, you're not going to be building it up on your own platform. You have to use the service that they provide, and usually they are really, really expensive. And if you watch this video from beginning to end, you'll actually come across this video right over here. And this video is called, I don't know if you recognize it, Katie. Have you ever seen Marley's Money Method?
I believe I have.
Alright, basically, it's one of these huge things where it's just loud, it's just in your face, and you go through all of these people that are, in fact, actors, and then you get shown something. I'm just going to forward to the right spot. This guy here, Walter Thompson. Walter Thompson. Okay, so you've got this guy, Walter Thompson, and I remember doing this review a year ago. He's actually on the system. But you know what? He's also been on Free Money System. There he is again. Can you see that? It's the same guy. And the only reason I know that, now you'll never find, now he plays Walter Green in this system and Walter Thompson in this video, but you will never find this guy on Fiverr. I think he's like a professional actor. But the way that you can actually get to know these guys is by doing these reviews consistently, because you develop a huge database of all of these actors. And when I started this review, I went something like this. I started out on this particular video and I said, hey guys, we're doing a review on Free Money Auto Trader, and I just want to, hey, wait a minute, I'm on the wrong page. Wait, let me go here. Oh yes, okay. So I went, oh wait a minute, we're on Marley's Money. Oh, okay, let me go here, and then I went.
It really starts to get confusing when they all look the same.
Yeah, you see, it's kind of like, and then you can actually say, hey, wait a minute, guys, these are the same actors. Now, that's just one strategy you can use, all right? But you can only use a strategy if you start putting up the different, systems that you have recorded in your back office. So that's another reason why you want to be consistent. All right. Now, I want to also teach you guys a little trick that I learned, that I developed over the years, and this one is for getting views on your particular video. All right. Now, part of the reason I haven't taught this to a lot of people is because if you abuse this method, you can get in serious trouble. All right. So I know that you guys are serious about learning, and I want to teach this to you. But please do not abuse this method, because you will get in trouble, and your views will be frozen, and you won't be able to do anything with it. All right. And the reason I've chosen this particular video, Facebook Enigma, is because this one is organic traffic. I haven't actually done anything to these views. So what I want to do is I just want to show you what you can do. So when somebody searches for Facebook Enigma review like that, and they see that I'm the third one here, and incidentally, when I did a review on this particular product, I was right at the bottom of the page when I first started out. But now I'm number 3, and when you do a search, you'll see that here it says 33 views. Okay, so 33 views is it's saying, okay, so you've had 33 people that have viewed your video. Now, when you make a video review for the first time, you'll find that when you search for it, you'll see that it'll say like 1 view. And even though you've actually gone to this particular video over here, you'll see that the views will be a lot higher than the one in your search volume. And so what people get frustrated with is they can't seem to get the 33 to match up with the 33 on the search bar. Does that make sense? Hello?
Yeah, that does, Dave.
Okay, so what I'm going to show you is how to actually get those views to show up and match up with what you have here. Now, please, if you've got a video on for the first time, do not pump more than 22 views, okay? Don't pump more than 20, okay? If you're going to be pumping something like 40, 50, 60, 80, it's going to get you in trouble because that's been my experience, and you will start to see your views actually freeze, which means when you try and view them again, they won't actually go up. But what you can do is, now when you're on this video, you can actually refresh this page, and when you refresh the page, the view should go up on this one. I don't know why. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't for some reason. What is going on now? It's not actually doing. Okay, we got a ground line on the system. Let's see if I can find something else. Hold on. Anyway, let me just explain the concept. When you refresh these views, okay, for some reason it's not going up now, but I haven't pumped views to this video at all. All right. When you refresh these views, okay, and you come back to this particular video and you click on something like, and you like your video, or you go ahead and you edit your particular description. So you add an extra line. You can say, I'm just going to put yes here, and you click on save, right? And you've refreshed the views. When you go back to the actual search bar, like that, what's going to happen is it's going to pick up the last amount of views that you edited on. I hope that makes sense. I'm actually trying to find a video. For some reason, I don't know why Facebook does this. Every now and then they won't. Have you found this, you guys?
Yeah, sometimes it just takes like a few minutes for it to refresh.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's instant and sometimes it's not.
Yeah, sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't.
Depends on how many gremlins are out there.
All right, let's try it with this one. Here's the actual, this is the SAM method. This is 105 views. Let me try and refresh this. No, it's not. You see, it's not even going up on this. And these are all organic views, all right? But the point I'm making is, if you pump 20 views to your video, all right, and then what happens is you go ahead and edit your description, and you save it. You give it maybe 5 minutes, and you go back to the search bar. You'll see that your views will have gone up, all right? And that does work. You can ask Chris; he does it as well. I hope that's a little nugget you can use for your actual search bar, your searches, so that you can actually give yourself a little bit of views where you have like 22 views that people can see what's going on. And then after that, you can actually, you see, you don't want to pump too many views. If you pump too many views, it doesn't seem realistic either. All right, but that is something you can do in order to get your view count up when people are searching for that particular product. I hope that makes sense. That is a little nugget that I learned, and you guys can grab onto that if you want to use it. But as I said before, do not abuse it, because you'll find that what will happen is, let's say you pump 80 views or 60 views, all right? Then what's going to happen is, a few days later, you're going to try and pump. People are going to try looking at that video, and it's just going to stay at 60 views. It's not going to go any higher for a very long time. But if you keep the views lower, they won't penalize you. That is my experience. Now, you can use that if you want to. As I said, part of the reason I didn't share this with a lot of people is because I know that when people get something like this, people tend to go crazy with it, and it just doesn't seem to give them results the way that it does me, for instance. But I've been doing this for a long time, and I just wanted to clear that up. Let me get back to my. I'm going to stop sharing right now. But I hope that makes sense for a lot of people. If you have any questions about that, you can certainly put it in the questions bar. Yes, even Chris notices that it happens. Cool. All right, so now we have a really special treat for you, okay? And I'm very excited about this because it has to do with your Colatu system. A lot of people, when they get into Colatu, they look at something called plugins, plugins and apps, or the apps or the little plugins that come with Colatu. And a lot of people have no idea what these plugins do, how to actually use them. And what Katie has very kindly done is she has taken the time to go through all of that stuff, and she's going to be doing a training for us so that we can understand more about Colatu and how we can actually integrate it into our business. So, Katie, I'm going to hand it over to you. I'm going to mute my mic and take it away.
All right, I'm just going to start by sharing my screen. Which one is it? Once I can figure out which one it is. Oh, I see.
Yeah, that green candy like shining, kind of like.
You are wise like old men. I have to have it on the same tab as the Hangouts. I just learned something new. If I have it in two separate windows, it's just not going to work. So I had to put it in another tab. There it is. Little golden nugget. All right, so you can see my widgets.
Yes.
Okay. So so this is a blog that I made up, and it's my test blog. So I can actually play with my widgets and not really screw up my my initial blog here. So like Dave said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over these widgets. So sometimes these can be confusing, and what I decided to do one day is like, okay, there's like so many widgets here, and what are they for? How can I utilize them in my blog post? And I have used most of them, and it can get pretty fun. So let's go ahead and start with. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the most easiest ones to learn, which is the comments. And this one here, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm going to say Akismet. Is that even right? Akismet? So I'm going to show you what that is and how to do that too. So, so what I'm going to probably do is go over some of them, half of them now in this training, and then since there's so much information that I'm actually going to go over the other half probably maybe next Monday or some other time, but I just don't want to overwhelm you with so much information. So to make it, okay, so when you first heard the word widget, I wonder if anybody else was confused like me, like what the heck is a widget? Like I thought of maybe Star Wars or something. You know what I mean? So real quick, what a widget is it's basically a fancy word for tools or content that can be added or arranged or moved from the sidebar of your blog. And let me just show you.
Yeah, show us the widget.
Yep. Well, I'm going to show the sidebar. Basically what the sidebar is. So basically what you're looking at is these are the widgets. So that's what they're called. It's just a fancy word of moving stuff around. So let me go ahead and go into my first. I only have 3 blog posts on this test blog site. So I'm going to go to my first blog post. And right here is the sidebar. So basically if I had, you know, this is actually a banner that's defaulted in there. And I think in the second part of this training, I'm going to show you how to change that if you wanted to change. But anyways, let's keep it simple. I'm going to go ahead and go through the comments and basically how to organize your blog with the recent comments and show you how to control your comments, which is super important. So I got my little notes here. So what I'm going to do is go to the easiest ones. Let's go to What people want to see is recent comments on a blog post because they want to see who's. I believe so. I want to see who is gonna, who's commenting and who's not, and how often, and all that stuff. But if you don't have any comments on your blog yet, don't worry. They will come sooner or later. And there's actually a couple of comments that do come in, which is authentic comments, and then there's spam comments, and I'll get into that in just a little bit. So what you want to do is when you click on a widget, this little menu here pops down, and you can have a choice of putting on in the widget sidebar that I showed you, or the footer left, center, or right, which is pretty explanatory. It's the stuff that's on the bottom here. So this is pretty much the footer. So what I'm going to do is keep it simple and do the sidebar widget, and all I have to do is click on the add widget, and boom, it's right over there. It's that fast and simple. You could choose to do a title, but I believe if you opt that out, that recent comments is going to be there as a title. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to this blog post, scroll up here, and show you when I refresh this page, it's going to pop up right here. So this comment right here has already been defaulted in the blog, that when it first gets set up, there's a default comment that gets put in there, so that's what this one is. And I left that in there just so I can show you. So that's pretty simple, right? Nothing else much to do there, so we can close that. And actually, let me, right on this explanation here, it says, shows the list of recent comments and trackbacks generated by the Rockin Recent Comment plugin. So what the trackback is basically when you have linked a related post to the end of your blog. So I think I have one at the end of this blog. So related posts, here's my other two posts that I have. What's really cool is that in your dashboard, it'll actually come up as an active comment, and you can actually find out who's sharing your content. It's actually from the link of your blog post. So anybody who shares this, it's on their blog post or whatever, it's actually going to show up as a comment. You're going to see who's sharing your post, which is pretty cool. I think I already did this once, and I'm going to see if I have it here. I might have moved it to the trash. Let me see if that comes up. Or do you think I should show it live? Do you think I should show it live?
Yeah, that'd be probably better.
Okay, I'll do that. So I'm going to edit. Oops. I'm going to go to my right click on this. I want to keep this one open. Open up another tab. You guys are following along so far? Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Pretty easy pace.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and edit my second blog post. Wait for it. So I'm going to scroll all the way down, read all the fun facts of Minnesota. You guys should visit here. Okay, so let's go to related. Oh, come on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my link there, copy it, which is Control-C for PC, and I'm not sure what Mac is, but you can also right-click and copy. And then I can press Control-V for as in Victor, or Control-Paste. And what I would do is actually I would put the title in. Let me just do that real quick so you guys can, just to make it look nicer. So, oops, I think I just clicked on it instead of, all right, hold on. Oh, come on. Wait for it. Copy that, paste that title. It always jumps up to the top when it does that. And that should probably already be linked to that blog post. So that's pretty cool. When you take your title, it already has the link already. Make sure you do open and link in a new tab so they don't get lost the original content, so they can actually have two windows. I like to do that because I don't want to hit the back button all the time. So erase that. So it's on there. I'm going to hit the update on that blog post. And let's see if, it may take a couple of seconds. Depends on how many internet gremlins are out there. click on something else and see if comments show up. It did not show up yet, so I'm going to go ahead and see if we want to wait for that or just keep moving on.
Move on. We believe you, Katie. It'll show up.
Okay. So what's really cool is that it shows up as a comment, and it'll show up like this. I put 2 of them in the trash already, but it'll show up like, hey, this blog post was shared by this person, and their little website will pop up when you hover your mouse over this, and it'll say when it was submitted and what time, and it's pretty cool. I love it, and it's just a really cool thing. Like, hey, people are really, you know, they're sharing my stuff, and you can find out where their blog is, and maybe be blogging buddies, I suppose. Okay, so that is the recent comment widget. So let me go ahead and show you real quick on how to do the comment control. I think this is a really cool thing that you could do for your blog, because when I first started blogging, I would get these weird comments. I thought that was pretty weird. I mean, they seem like compliments, but it was basically they're spamming my blog post. So they're basically selling like other things, like, you know, like Ray-Bans, or I'm pretty sure everybody got that on Facebook before, where you get tagged in a post with Ray-Bans, and all this just ridiculous stuff. So I'm going to go to Global Settings, and that's where you're going to find your comment control. And it's pretty simple. All you do is scroll down, and you get to choose any of these selections. So what I do is the comment must be manually approved, and then also the comment author, which is me or you, you know, the owner of this blog post, must have a previously approved comment. Oh, the comment author, I'm sorry, the people who are commenting are the ones, if they've been previously approved, then it's it actually goes on there without being approved. So basically, if they're already okay, see if you have a friend of yours who always likes to comment, or if you have a follower that always likes to comment, and they're not spamming you, they don't have to wait for their comment to show. So otherwise you say anyone can post a comment. I don't recommend this at all, because like I said, it gets spammed, and you can actually have a comment held for moderation. So what that does, actually, I'm going to click on that, because what I'm going to do, you can click Save Changes, because what that does is it basically goes in a holding pattern. It basically, so it's when somebody comments, I should actually put a comment in there and show you what that looks like. So you basically have a chance to reply, and when you reply and you don't see it for, like, say I didn't see it until a couple of days later, when you hit reply, you can do your reply, and when you hit reply, it'll actually make your reply and their comment live. Like it'll make it at the same time, so it looks like you're active. So it's actually a good way to say, okay, I'm active on my blog, and I'm seeing my comments. You know, it's not all the time that you can actually get to your comments. So it's actually a really cool thing to say. You know, that you are. Well, I mean, you're busy. You're a busy person, so you don't want to take like 2 days to reply to somebody. So does that make sense?
Yes. So you're going. So what you're saying is when it's approved, you can reply to it, and then when you reply to it, you can approve it, and then it'll be seen on the blog instantly.
Yeah, basically when you reply to it, it actually approves it at the same time. That's what I was trying to say. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, good. So anyways, so that is the comment control. Let's go to the Akismet. I believe that's how you say it. So this is pretty cool. So all those spam comments that your new blog blocked will actually have a cool counter on your blog post, so then people can see that, hey, there's a spam counter there, and it says how many spams it's been blocked. I think that's kind of cool, right? Does anybody else have used that before? Like, I could put that on my original blog post. I should have, and I probably have hundreds that it blocked. So, and usually once your blog, once you have it, it actually has its own separate spot where it goes. And it kind of does it for you, which is pretty cool. So it goes to the spam folder, and then there's pending. So there's a few that'll go to pending, but there's going to be a lot that goes into spam. But however, I have seen at least once or twice where an authentic comment was actually placed in the spam folder. So I kind of skimmed through, and then you can just do a bulk action by deleting them all permanently. So it's 9 times out of 10 they're all spam comments. So that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I like that fact that it gives your blog a sense of authority. That's actually something.
Well, it gives a sense of basically not privacy. What's the word, like protection? Because what happens is that Google will rank good stuff and good content for their users. So if it has spam comments, nobody wants to see that. Google doesn't want to provide that for anybody, so they're not going to rank it. So there's a little golden nugget for you. If you provide good content that's your own, and people are commenting on it and they're visiting it often, and the duration, how long they stay on the blog, it's going to rank high. So you want to, that's the whole point of like keeping people engaged right away and giving them what they're looking for. So most of the time people stay at a blog like 7 seconds. It's like basically on a video. You have like 7 seconds to capture their attention and basically answer their question right away. So that's what you want to do. So and Google will rank you and reward you for that. If you have spammed comments and content that's been duplicated, as far as I can tell, I think that's what Neil was saying. Neil Patel. I don't know if that's true anymore for duplicate content. Isn't that still true? Like if it's too many duplicate content, Google is gonna punish that blog post.
Well, yeah. What'll happen is what Google wants are for people to write naturally. They don't want you to be. They really don't want people to be spinning anything. They want people to write original content, and just so people know, because I know that some people have jumped on now recently. Katie, if you're looking at this for the first time, Katie is going through an example blog post. All right, this isn't her actual blog. So if you can't read anything on the actual blog itself, it's just because she's using an example post with Lorem Ipsum font, which means it's just garbage there. But she's trying to show you what the widgets do and where you can actually place them. So.
Yeah, what's so cool about the Kalatu Premium is you can have up to 10 blogs, and so it's benefited me so much where I can actually open up another blog and use it as a test mode to train people, which is pretty fantastic. So I don't plan on ranking this blog whatsoever. It's just here just for testing. So, and that's cool. So let's go to the widgets that kind of organize the organizing part. So we got the comments, the recent comments, and the spam blocker comments. So that has to do with comment.
Can you go over how to add that widget again, just so people can see?
Oh, how to add it? Actually, I'll show you how to delete it first and then re-add it. How's that?
Okay. So
you just basically, this is the drop down, drop it down, and you just hit delete. Super simple. And then I can go back up here, click on this, add it to wherever I want to place it. So the sidebar here, real quick, is what you see right here, and the footer banners are right on the bottom here. So I just have one footer banner there. So where am I? Okay, so I can choose where I want to put it. So right now we're doing the sidebar. I just add the widget, boom, it's there, and it's added. And I can close it. Or I can open it again and rename it anything I want. Call to action. But this is a spam widget, so I don't know. Maybe a call to action like, hey, look how secure this blog is. Start today. Okay. So the organization part of, for folks like me who want to have it organized and make it look pretty, and show people actually your recent posts. because when they're on one particular blog post, they're going to be reading this, and then all these on the side are going to show up. And if you have something on the side here, say, hey, if you like this content, I have more. Here it is. Here's my recent post that I wrote. It's a good way to advertise more blog posts. Maybe it catches their eye saying, oh, hey, I want to learn more about this. So what's really cool is that you could, let's go to, there's actually a few of them. There's the archives, the categories, and the really cool search bar. Where did I see that? The search bar, we'll do the search bar, and then the recent posts, and then I'll go over the calendar. So I'm kind of going to do a zigzag because I think I'm going with the most popular, or I'll explain exactly which one you should use and which ones is better, actually, than the ones that you could use and ones that are better. Let's start with the archive. So basically what that does, it shows a monthly archives of your site's posts. So I'm going to go ahead and add that widget. So it's easy, simple. I can do a title, but if I don't put a title, it's already going to say archives. So I can choose to have the display as a drop down and show the post counts, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm going to hit save, and you see that little gray little circle. That's how fast it goes, and I can just go back to, just pull that up. Go back to this, refresh, and it's going to show up under the spam blocked widget. Oh, I replaced it? That's right, I replaced it, didn't I? No, I didn't. Maybe the gremlins are not on my side today. So here's the drop-down menu, and I have only 3 posts on this test blog, and I started this test blog in December, so it's going to show that I have 3 blog posts in December. So if I take off the drop-down, I'm going to go ahead and save that. There's my little gray deal there. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Everything's acting all weird. So there it is. So the drop-down is gone. So it just kind of shows how many blog posts I have in that month. But what's I don't like about the archives, I mean, it's cool that they can show how many blog posts I write a month, but how do they know like what I write about? I want to tell them what I'm writing about. Unless they know, you know, they're not going to know otherwise. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the next one is the categories. So it lists, I'm going to go ahead and add that to the sidebar there. So it drops down here. I'm going to close this just to kind of shorten the list there. So basically if I do a title, I can do a call to action, you know, see my latest, see what I brought, you know, anything you want for a call to action. But if I leave it blank, it's going to say categories already. So I can do a drop down, show how many posts, and show the, how do you say that word? Can anybody know? I don't want to say it like I think
It's
I say
hierarchy.
Oh,
hierarchy.
I thought so, and that sounded really bad. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that all looks like. I'm going to save.
Your hierarchy is the important stuff.
Okay.
If you bring my glasses in here, Kate, I'll be able to read it.
No, I can read it. I just didn't know if that was the right word to say or not. So here's the drop-down menu, and it shows all my categories that I have. So uncategorized is actually a category that's already put in your blog post. Let me just show you real quick. When I go to posts, I don't want to lose that page, so I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm going to go ahead and edit one of my posts. And when you're editing your first post, by the way, I just want to say when you start your new blog, there's already 3 blog posts that already say first post, second post, and third post. They're already plugged in there. And you can just do what I did, is that you can edit them, change the title, or you can completely delete them all together and just start fresh. So it's completely up to you. But right here, when you first start, there's an uncategorized category and 21-day blog challenge category already plugged in there, and I added these ones in here already, these 3, the Lorem Ipsum, the Kalatsu Facts, and Minnesota. And it's super simple to add a category. You can just say, I'm going to add that, and I can actually have it underneath the Kalatsu Facts, add it, and update. And you see right there that it shows right here, but it's actually going to be underneath the Kalatsu Facts as a subheading, which is pretty cool. Or you can add a whole new category altogether. Does that make sense?
Maybe I have a question.
Okay.
I don't know if because I can't. I've been trying to figure this one out. How do you actually take away a category? Do you know how to do that?
It's been a while, I believe. So this is going to be all guesswork because I haven't done it in a while. So I'm going to go to categories, and we're going to try to delete the training categories that I just added. So let's see. I can go click on this. It's a subheading right here, so that's what that dash means. You can just hit delete. Okay, and it's gone.
Yeah,
Just
that
like
makes
that.
sense. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I believe that's the easiest way that I found. Okay, so that's how you add a category. And oops, where am I? I just don't want to get lost. So again, it shows that how many categories I have and how many blog posts that I have in that category. Now, one of my blog posts, the first one that you saw, I have it in the Lorem Ipsum and uncategorized. If you click on two categories, it's going to say that it's in both. So if I unchecked uncategorized, this is actually going to disappear, and it's just going to have these three. So my three posts are under each different category. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, good. Words are hard sometimes. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and let's uncheck this and get rid of the display. Just kind of have fun with it and kind of play with it and see what it looks like. I'm going to refresh. It's all like real time. This is super cool. It's all real time. So this is what that looks like. Now I think the hierarchy that you had on there, or that you said that was there, I think the reason why mine's not showing up is because I didn't plug in the information on my blog post. So I believe that would be just like a quick, isn't that what that means, right?
Yeah, that's yes. But
Okay.
it's actually about I think if I'm not mistaken, it's about your most recent recent post, a hierarchy. It shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Learning from each other. That's awesome. All right. So that's categorized. And the search bar, I'm going to go ahead and show you that. I'm going to click on that, add it to the widget. And let me go ahead and show you real quick that you can actually drag and drop anywhere that you want if you'd like. So I can have my search bar up there, and that's how you can add it. If you just click and add to the bar, it's automatically going to go down to the very bottom each time. So, and then you can actually grab any widget here and just kind of move it around a little bit.
Are you're holding on your left
Yep,
button
I'm
on
holding
your
on
mouse?
to my clicker, not my right clicker, but my pointer clicker. So basically, when you're, yeah, so my left mouse. So I'm gonna delete that one because I'm gonna keep it on the bottom. And again, I'm not gonna put a title in there because search will be, or you can say, search my post or whatever. You know, I could do that too. Hit save. Go back here, scroll down, and I want you to watch it pop up. It's kind of fun to see that. It's kind of real-time stuff. So there it is. What's really cool about this is that people can actually search what you're blogging about. Let me just go Minnesota, and I hit search, and it'll bring up all the keywords that I have for Minnesota. And apparently I have, the reason why I have this here is because I had that related post link in there. So that's why this popped up, because it's a keyword. So that's why there's two of them here. So I personally don't have that on my initial blog because already we have a search bar up here. And I think it goes with every single theme that you have. So when you're scrolling, this whole bar stays active or stationary. So when they're scrolling, that search bar is always going to be there. But if you are someone who wants to give a larger call to action, let's just say, like, hey, search my posts here, you can definitely have that on the side. So that's a neat little widget that you can have for the side of your blog post. But like I said, I'm not sure if all themes have this, and I'm sure they do. So it's just another widget that you can use. So let's go to, let's go to the recent posts. So if you remember, we had the, recent comments. So it shows how the recent comments that people are commenting on. This is the one where you can showcase your recent posts. So I'm going to go ahead and add that widget. going to be at the bottom here. And my suggestion is, so they're not overloaded by so much information, is don't go more than 3. You can have 4, 5, 6, or whatever, but I think that's a lot. Especially if you if you don't display a thumbnail, I think you can probably do more than 3. But I like to display the thumbnail because it's eye-catching. So if you have a really cool featured image for your blog post, and it's really eye-catching and it gets people's attention instead of just boring wordages. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't have any actually images on any of my blog posts, so none of them are going to show up. So this is kind of perfect where I can show you what it looks like without the images. And I think the expert is basically the isn't that the basically the summary of what's in the blog post?
Yes, it is. It's taking an extract of what your beginning line is on your actual post.
And basically how many lines they want to display. So I can go up to 10 lines or 12 or 13 or 9 or 8, 5, 4, right?
Yeah.
You can create your own excerpt in your blog.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Actually, I don't know about that quite yet. I haven't played with it. So
yeah, if your initial entry into your blog isn't as compelling as something like in the next paragraph, you can use the next paragraph.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. I love that. So I'm going to hit save since I changed some stuff, and I can change the title as a call to action, a cool call to action, but apparently this title was already in there, so that's cool. So we'll just leave it there. Refresh, and it's going to pop up right here. And
Katie,
what?
We have a question from Jamie. He wants to know about Slipstream, the plugin Slipstream.
I don't know anything about that yet. I know that's been recent in the last, what was it, just a couple of months, and I haven't been able to ask what that is yet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out what that is, unless you know, Dave. And
no, I don't use Slipstream myself. But
yeah, I haven't
Jamie,
used it yet, so.
But Jamie, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll actually we'll get that sorted out, find out what's happening with that, and we'll put it in the actual group, so you can go ahead and check that out. All right, man. Or if you want to, Jamie, you can actually, if you do figure it out yourself, you can make a video for us. That would be really awesome.
Good ideas.
That is. I just wanted to ask: are people? Does this make sense to everybody on here? Is this actually helping people? Because thank you very much for doing this, Katie. I really appreciate it. Because a lot of people don't understand what widget's all about. But let's try and get to the bottom of Slipstream so we can actually find out what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm telling you, I'm going over the easy widgets. I haven't even gone over the fun stuff that it's going to take another training day, because you have no idea what you have in just these little things. It's super, super cool. I'm excited about it. But okay, what's that?
No, carry on.
Okay. So here is, apparently I did an expert on, what did I do? How many lines? Let's see, 4? Or what does that mean again? Like, it just showed, like, I'm going to actually go to, let's go back up to the 10 and see what that looks like. Save it. I think there's going to be just a lot of information. Okay, so that's going to have more information there. I think that's personally, that might be okay. What I do is I leave that out, and I still do 3, and I have a thumbnail. But since I don't have thumbnails on this example post or blog, then it's not going to show up. Instead, there's this third post featured, which would be the image, and then the title. So that's how I like to have it, because usually in my images I have kind of my title anyway. My titles usually say self-explanatory. So so we're okay on the recent post. That makes sense?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I was just wondering about, because I know a lot of people are interested in the plugins as well.
Okay.
Are you just covering the widgets, or?
Yep, I'm just doing the widgets. I know we only got about 10 minutes left, so I only got 2 more widgets to go over before time runs out. And eventually we're going to go over plugins and applications. But like I said, we're not even going to go through all the widgets right now. And I'm just doing the simple ones. But once we get into the other ones, it's going to be hella cool.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's. Okay, look, Katie, you've actually made some videos for us, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay, so what Katie has done is she's taken some time, and I really do appreciate this. Katie's actually made some videos for us that go into, I think it's all of the widgets, right?
Yep.
So you've actually gone through all those widgets, and you can find that training inside the actual group, all right? And so if you're not part of the 24-Hour Marketing Mastermind, please let us know so we can actually give you access to that. And all you have to do is go and scroll through that. You can find Katie's training on the actual widgets so that you can get familiar with what's going on. Because I know it's a lot of information, and it's kind of a taste as to how easy it is to navigate around the Kalati blogging platform. All right. But here's another thing, guys. If you find that you've actually mastered a certain application or mastered a certain plugin, please feel free to upload a training inside of the group. That way we can benefit each other and we can help each other learn with the system. All right. The only thing is, remember that this group, the 24-Hour Marketing Mastermind group, is not an advertising group. All right. So it's not there primarily as a way for you to advertise your business, because we're all in the same team. We're all in the same business. And so if you're going to make a video, I don't mind if you put a tutorial up on there. I don't even mind if you link it to your blog, but don't make it like go straight to your capture page, because that's just not fair on anybody else. Please take advantage of the group. That's why we're there. And the other thing I want to mention is, if you have a question and you put it in the group and you do know the answer to it, please contribute to the group so you can answer that question. And if you don't know the answer, then just find out if somebody else does know the answer. It's just simple as that. I'm always looking at the group, so if I don't get to it, just give me a day or two and I'll get back to it. But I'm always looking, so I will get back to you. And also, if you say you're going to answer a question in the group, please answer the question. All right, don't say you're going to answer in the group and you don't, because we're here to help each other. We're here to learn from each other, and that's the whole point of this. We're all learning here. We're not none of us here are experts. We're not full-rounded experts. We're all learning from each other, and that's the point. We're trying to learn from each other. And Katie, I just want to say thank you so much for this. It really, really, really is helpful. Guys, don't you want to say thanks to Katie for giving us this information? I really do appreciate it, and thank you. It's just been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Can I add something actually about the Facebook group?
Sure.
I think it might be important because you have people requesting to be added in the group. Shouldn't somebody be like, who should be messaged to say, hey, I want to add this person? Like, should they message their sponsor?
Okay.
And then get a hold of you, or?
Okay. Here's the thing. The group is for people who are inside of Empower Network. All right. That's what the group is there for. If you're not in Empower Network, you won't have access to that group. And the reason for that is this. All right. It's not because I'm trying to be exclusive or elitist or anything like that. The sole purpose behind the group is to help people who are in the system. All right. And if you are invested in the company, then you really do want to learn. All right. We're not here giving people free rides. We want people that are invested in the business to be part of the group. So if you are in the group, all right, if you are in Empower Network and you want to be part of the team, all you have to do is to message either myself or Katie or Pops or even Stephen and just say, look, I am inside of Empower Network. How can I get access into the group? That's fine, because we want to help people who are actively wanting to learn and actively want to build, all right? Where in fact, in the next few weeks, starting next year, that group is going to be closed. It's going to be a closed group. So you won't be able to find it on Facebook. It's only going to be accessible to people inside of Empower Network. All right. And as I said, we're not doing this because we're trying to be mean. We're doing this because we want people who are invested in learning to be a part of the team. Does that make sense to everybody? Does that You understand what I'm trying to go for here, that I'm not trying to, there's no power trip here, I'm just trying to.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, man.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks, guys. Really appreciate. You know, the one thing that we can do for each other is to encourage each other. And whether we're doing, whether anybody's doing a great or bad job in whatever we're doing, we need encouragement, guys. We need to be able to teach each other, to help each other, and the more that we can encourage each other, the better we get at something. All right? So don't just look at something and say, oh, you know what, this isn't really helpful to me because I'm not anywhere near this stuff. The whole point is that we're trying to help the other person. Try not to focus too much on your issues, but try to understand that there might be somebody else who's struggling with a particular thing inside of Kolatu. I learned a tremendous amount tonight. Let me tell you something. So thank you, Katie. I really do appreciate what you're saying. It's been really, really helpful. And the one thing I do want to announce is that we're not going to be having a mastermind next week for obvious reasons. Okay, it's the new year. People are having a lot of celebrations, and I believe even in Power Network they don't do the New Year thing as well. All right, but the whole idea is that spend time with your families, help somebody in need, give somebody something that they don't have. We want to be able to make this about helping other people. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be back on this in the next year with a new set of training that we're going to be helping you with. So right now what we want you to do is we want you to get onto the Empower Hour that's going to be happening in a few minutes. But before we say goodbye, I just want to, Pops, thank you so much for helping with the moderation. Really do appreciate it. You guys want to say your goodbyes and perhaps something?
Yeah, good night, everyone. Keep on keeping on, as Dave says. Have a good night. Thanks.
And yeah, thank you so much for allowing me to train, Dave. This is really cool, and to kind of teach people the powers of the widgets. And like I said, I went over the easy stuff. The cool stuff is about to happen when I go to the other widgets, and the versatile of those widgets. I mean, it's just amazing. So.
Cool. All right. So we'll be saying goodbye, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time on the 24-Hour Marketing Mastermind. And do yourself a favor. Try and get as many people as you possibly can to the next training so that we can get people in the system. So when people get into Empower Network, you've got something that you can actually give to people and say, look, we've got this great training that we give out, and we're just here to help each other learn. And it's a way for people to get exposure. Yes, and Happy New Year. And I will see every one of you next year. I've always wanted to say that. All right. Okay, guys.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Cheers. Bye.